everyone, I'm Saili Hingne and welcome back to our YouTube channel, that is Edufy India. So today I'm back with another video lecture for you. So before starting, please do follow us on WhatsApp and our Telegram groups, the link of which is given in description of this video. So for more such video lectures, free PDF notes, doubt sections, quizzes, do follow us on our social media platforms and also subscribe to our channel, that is Edufy India. So let's start. So our today's topic will be our continuation of plant kingdom. We have already uploaded our first part of this topic, so if you have missed, please do watch our videos. You will get it in our channel, that is Edufy India. So let's start discussing about our second group of plant kingdom. First was Thallophyta, that is in which we studied algae in the previous class. So talking about bryophytes. Bryophytes include the various mosses and liverworts. These are non-cellular embryophytes characterized by the presence of an independent gametophyte and parasitic sporophyte. So, we'll talk about some of the important features or characteristics of this group. So, firstly, we'll see habitat, that is where they live. Bryophytes commonly grow in moist, shaded areas in hills. These are also called amphibians of the plant kingdom because they can live in soil but are dependent on water for sexual reproduction. That is why they are called as amphibians. Now, next is rhizoids. These are attached to the substratum by unicellular or multicellular rhizoids. Rhizoids are filamentous outgrowth or root hair on the underside of the thallus in some lower plants, especially in mosses and liverworts. So, these are attached to the substratum, that is surface to which cells attach, especially when they are growing. That is called a substratum. So this bryophytes attach to substratum by unicellular or multicellular rhizoids. Now, next feature is sex organs. So the male plant body produces gametes, hence it is called gametophyte. The sex organs in bryophytes are multicellular. The male sex organs in bryophytes is called as antheridium, which produces biflagellate anthrozoids. And the female sex organ is like a flask shaped and is called archegonium. It produces a single egg. So, next feature, that will be reproduction. It is of sexual type. The reproduction occurs by sexual means. The anthrozoids, which is produced by antheridium, that is male sex organ, are released into water where they come in contact with archegonium, that is our female sex organ. So after that, in fertilization, fertilization occurs inside the archegonium, that is our female sex organ. The egg secretes a chemical which attracts spermatozoids. Sperms require a thin film of water for swimming and reaches the archegonium, that is burst and opened up. So one sperm fuses with an egg and produces a diploid zygote. Zygotes do not undergo reduction division immediately. Instead, they produce a multicellular body called sporophyte. The sporophyte is not free living but attached to the photosynthetic gametophyte, deriving nutrition from it. Some cells of the sporophyte undergo reduction division, that is meiosis, to produce haploid spores which germinate to produce gametophyte. The sporophyte of bryophytes is called sporogonium because it is mainly dependent and meant for producing spores. That is why it is called as sporogonium. Now, talking about their life cycle, bryophytes have heteromorphic or heterologous alternation of generation. We will be having separate sections on life cycle of this kingdom. It's the gametophyte. It may be heteromorphic or heterologous alternation of generation. The gametophyte may be produced directly or first from a juvenile stage. Juvenile stage means young stage, which is called as protonyma. Now, furthermore, adding to it, we will see some of the economic importance of this bryophytes. Bryophytes are of little economic importance and there are reasons for it also. But first we will see what little economic importance they have. Some mosses provide food for herbaceous mammals, birds and other animals. And secondly, mosses along with lichens are the first organisms to colonize rocks. Hence this helps in biological succession. They decompose rocks, making the substrate suitable for the growth of higher plants. Then Mosses from dense mats on the soil, they reduce the impact of rain falling and prevent soil erosion. And one more point to add about these bryophytes is that they do not attain great heights. They may range of 0.4 to 70 centimeter and have thalloid body. So there are some reasons that these bryophytes have little economic importance, and which may be like root is absent in them, then vascular tissues are not present, cuticle is not present on the plant body, absence of mechanical tissue, and male gametes need to swim up to the interior of burst and opened up archegonium, that is female sex organ. So this can be the reasons for their little economic importance. See some types of these bryophytes. The bryophytes are generally classified into two main groups. First we will see about liverworts. Liverworts usually grow in moist, shady places such as marshy ground, damp soil, bark of trees, and also deep in the woods. The picture which you can see on your screen is example of liverworts that is called as Merchantia. This picture is of liverwort that is Merchantia, female thallus and male thallus. So we will discuss about features of this liverworts. So first, talking about their thallus, the picture shows you A picture demonstrates you female thallus and B picture demonstrates you male thallus. So talking about the thallus, the plant body of a liverwort is thalloid. Example given is Merchantia. The thallus is dorsoventral and closely pressed to the substrate. The leafy members have tiny leaf-like appendages in two rows on the stem-like structure. Now talking about their rhizoids, they are unicellular. This may be of two types in some liverworts, that is smooth-walled, and it can also be tuberculate. Now furthermore, the reproduction, it occurs by both asexual and sexual means. So talking about asexual reproduction, it occurs by fragmentation of thalli or by the formation of specialized structures called gamete, means gamma. Gamete are green multicellular asexual buds which develop in small receptacles called gamma cups located on the thalli. As you can see on your picture, gamma cup. Gamete become detached from the parent body and germinate, forming new individuals. So this is how asexual reproduction occurs in them. Now, sexual reproduction. During this, male and female sex organs are produced either on the same or different thalli. Sporophyte is differentiated into a foot, seta and capsule. After meiosis, spores are produced within the capsule. And these spores germinate to form free living gametophytes. Example, Merchantia, Porella, etc. So, the picture which you can see on your right side represents in reality in plants how male and female thallus of this liverworts, that is Merchantia, looks. So this picture is giving you both the views about the diagrammatic representation of this liverwort and also about how in reality this liverworts, means female thallus and male thallus of this liverwort, that is Merchantia, looks. So based on this, based on our just previous discussion, I have got some activity for you. So today's activity will be examine and label this given picture, which is of Merchantia. So you have to comment your answers down in the comment box that what does A represents and what will be the answer of B as per your observation. So do comment your answers. Now further, so second part of bryophytes will be, or let's say a type of bryophyte will be mosses. Mosses grow in dense mats over moist shady places, especially during rains, and some of them also grow in wet grounds and streams. As you can see on your picture, this is how they grow, like forming a dense mat. Then, so this image represents some examples of mosses, that is Funaria, gametophyte and sporophyte, and B part is our Siphagnum gametophyte. So, first we'll discuss about the important characteristics of this type. The plant body The predominant stage of the life cycle of a mosses is the gametophyte, which consists of two stages. The first stage is the protonema stage, which develops directly from a spore. It is a creeping green branched and frequently filamentous stage. And the second stage is the leafy stage, which develops from the secondary protonema as a lateral bud. So they contain upright slender axils which bears spirally arranged leaves, and this stage bears sex cells. So talking about rhizoids, rhizoids are long multicellular branch structures with oblique septa. Septa is like division or partition, it's kind of a wall. So they take part in fixation and absorption of water. However, surface conduction through capillary is an important mechanism of water supply to aerial parts. So this was about rhizoids and their role. When talking about their reproduction, it can occur by vegetative and asexual means. So first, vegetative reproduction. It occurs by fragmentation and by budding in the secondary protonema from exposed rhizoids and other parts like gamete, buds and tubers. This is how vegetative reproduction takes place. Now talking about the sexual reproduction, sex organs, that is male sex organ antheridia and female sex organ archegonia are produced at the apex of the leaf surface. Male organs appear cup-shaped while female organs are bird-like. As you can see on the picture, that is representing bee, antheridial branch and archegonial branch. And after fertilization, the zygote develops into a sporophyte consisting of foot, seta and capsule. This capsule contains spores. The picture which you can see on your left, that is of A part, it represents the seta, capsule. Now talking about stage of the life cycle of this mosses, sporophyte. The sporophyte in mosses is more elaborate than in liverworts. Spores are formed after meiosis, and the sporophytes have a mechanism of spore dispersal. An example is, as you can see, that is of A, Funaria, and B is of Sphagnum. So this was about our mosses, some important characteristics of them. Now, difference between liverworts and mosses. So with these points, it will be easier for you to remember the important features of these both types, and with these key notes, you can elaborate your answers. So this chart will help you in understanding the differences between these two groups. So this was all about our today's second group of plant kingdom, that was of bryophytes, under which we have seen our two types, that is liverworts and mosses. So for such lectures and PDF notes, quizzes, doubt sections, please follow us on our social media platforms, the link of which will be given in your description box. Do comment the answers of your exercises in the box and subscribe to our channel, that is Edufy India. We'll be soon back with another video lecture as a continuation of this topic. So thank you for your patience listening.